Generational trauma. They don't even call it the trauma of a specific generation, for we are a constant snowball of one trauma that is expanding itself. The expansion of trauma comes from the manipulation, the distortion that one sees thyself to be. The way that I see myself into being creates then a pure tone of who I am or a distorted tone of who I am. And we are the ones to recognize the trauma. Each and every single one of us. We, I am, us all, capable of achieving the recognition of the trauma that is being instilled in this world, in your area, in your family, in yourself. We have trauma in many different layers, and it starts with the recognition within the individual. Each individual, yourself, experience reality through thought. And thought is the most powerful process, mechanism of manifestation. It is within your thought that you align yourself into source. It is within your thought that you recognize the differences between each action, each direction, each emotion, each intuition, each sense that we have. And this intensity, it is the change that we are undergoing. To change the intensity into warmth. The expression of oneself through thought. In a warmth state. One that brings you stillness. The ability to perceive what surrounds you. The ability to experience what is within you. In my experience, it is the detachment of an intense trauma into the warmth of who I am. For the biggest trauma that each and every single one of us will find is the distortion of oneself. The trauma lies within each and every single one of us not being able to be the truest essence, the truest tone that one knows thyself to be. And for that, knowing thyself is the ability, is the introduction for one to know what is thyself. What is, am I? I am. Not the question, the affirmation, the commandment of your reality through thought. And everything that one expresses is a deep restoration of one's thought process. The way that we think will then create the reality that we live. And this brings to the initial words of generational trauma. Are we a generation of trauma? Or within all generations, we are used to seeing trauma being passed down, being given as knowledge. For fear is a knowledge that has been deep embedded within your thought process, within your consciousness, within your being, as a part of reality. The doubt, the fear, the sin that one is born with is an artificial perception of who thyself is. You are not born in sin. You are not born with sin. Each birth, as within an infinity of meanings, the meaning to be yourself, your truest self, your true tone of being. And this difficulty is then the wheel, the cycle that is passed on. The inability to be oneself. The inability to allow oneself to recognize how I think with my mind, with my heart, with my intuition, with my awareness, with my mindfulness, with my presence, with my interaction, my action, my reaction. In all moments that we sense with our body, the ability to process the actuality that is undergoing within you is the release of trauma, is the release of distortion, is the release of a misalignment of who then I am to be. And this brings pure joy to experience oneself in that which is pure. And in this reality, in this world, purity is seen almost as a sin. For let us not forget that we are all undergoing a constant and infinite evolution of thyself into recognizing that there is no distortion, that can alter your truest self. And within generations, we are learned into being with or without freedom. Every choice that you make, is it within the presence of who you are? Every action that you take, every thought that you have, is it yours? Do you recognize it to be aligned with who you are? The one you are born into. And through life, death occurs in thought. I thought I enjoyed this. I thought I had to act like this, react like this, defend myself like this, expose myself like this, isolate myself like this. Infinity of your own individual experience that is blown away like the leaves within the wind. And how many of these experiences are blown away, leaving you completely naked without realizing what is the structure on which one can start to realize the deep, still presence that is within, that allows each one of us to be free. So the generation of trauma is dismantled, is broken by the allowance of freedom for you to be yourself. And that means that each and every single one of us has to relearn who I am. We are not here to only look at life only through the lens of one perspective. We are here to see the infinity that is limited by our own boundaries of what I'm not capable of. We think so. So we think. And to finalize, there's always have been a thought within me that is your reality, my reality, requires my own presence, requires my own activation, my own alignment in order to fulfill anything and everything that is meant for this now. And that thought was always present within me and is that in order for me, my life, my experience to be as peaceful, as serene, as joyful, as loving, as steady, as comfortable as I wish, only I am the one that can achieve that. And this is not to say that I can live my life in isolation. This is to say that this thought on which I have within me since a young age has given me the courage to never put it aside. For if I want to change my circumstances, the only thing I need to change is then the way I see myself. Who am I? I am. And that is the infinity that we all seek. I am. That has a meaning specific to each and every single one of us. But the freedom to say, I am this, that, I am one. Will be then the end to any and all trauma, any and all generation. For now, it is the combination of past, present, and future. And within your thought, you can combine the universes of time that we see the timeline at. And within the center, we are able, through the eye of Hello I, to manifest the whole presence in all existence according to how you now see yourself to be the truest tone of expression that I am. If I want change, I am capable of that change. For that change is one thought away. And in order for us to be able to think and manifest, we have to recognize the alignment within, what is within, and then be able to manifest through the eye of Hello I, through the eye of your own expression in the purest tone. Be free, be love, be audacious in being who you are meant to be, who you dream to be, who you were always.